Hey guys, today we'll take a look at the Necromancer class in D2R. Necromancer is the only character in the game who can create his own army of various skeletons, golems and other evil creatures. In addition, he has an excellent ability to curse his enemies to weaken them. Necro has relatively low gear dependence compared to other classes, and also considered one of the strongest characters in PvP. Furthermore, Necromancer has great survivability, that is why he's quite popular in hardcore play. Let's take a look at Necromancer's abilities. The first tree is summoning skills. In this branch you can see different creatures that can be summoned. First are skeletons. They have a very good damage and survivability and therefore form the base of Necromancer's army. Same cannot be said about the skeletal mages. Their damage is like cluster at hell difficulty, although in patch 2.4 they will be buffed. Leveling these skills improves skeletons' health, defense and the number of skeletons that can be summoned. Different types of skeletons have their own count. For example, you can raise both 11 ordinary skeletons and 11 skeleton mages. Skeletons have a separate passive skill called Skeleton Mastery, which also increases their health and attack. As a rule, all necromancers who use summoned creatures also level up this ability. Revive allows you to raise a fallen creature, giving it increased health and damage. However, these summoned creatures will only be with you for 3 minutes, and they have their own separate counter. If you invest enough points in these abilities, you can summon up to 49 creatures at a time. Necromancer can also summon golems. Golems are divided into 4 types: clay, blood, iron and fire. A necromancer can only have 1 golem summoned at a time. Therefore, you need to make a choice. There are only 2 useful golems. First one is clay golem, which is used as a tank, since it's very durable. Second one is an iron golem, which is created using an item and also very useful. Clay golem, like all skeletons, disappear after you exit the game, and it needs to be summoned again. But the iron golem works in a different way. It will stay with you even after you relog in game. The key feature of Iron Golem is that it absorbs all the stats of the item it was formed from, including the auras, so it makes sense to use some rune words or unique items in order to summon this golem. In essence, Iron Golem can be like your second mercenary. However, there is an obvious drawback. When it dies, you need a new item to summon it. Therefore, if you use rune words or unique items, it can get expensive, and you should pay extra attention to its health. Golems also have their own passive ability, Golem Mastery, which increases their health, and the general passive ability for all summoned creatures is Summon Resist, which increases the resistances of all your summoned creatures. But as a rule, both Golem Mastery and Summon Resist is initially leveled by just 1 point. The second branch of Necromancer abilities is Poison and Bone. Teeth ability summons sharp teeth that pierces enemies. The higher the skill level, the more teeth are summoned. For the most part, teeth are leveling not as an independent skill, but as a synergy to further skills. Corpse Explosion skill is the main attack skill for any necro. The task is to create the first corpse and then just explode it. All monsters that are within the explosion radius usually die. The more the skill is up, the greater the explosion radius, and the more opponents will be damaged. The damage caused by corpse explosion ranges from 70 to 120% of monster's initial life, and doesn't depend on skill level. Considering that most monsters, especially at the hell difficulty level, have lots of health, it is possible to do huge damage. The Bone Spear skill is a bone arrow that passes through opponents and deals damage. This skill is the main attack skill for Bone Necromancer. The main advantage of this skill is that it deals piercing and magic damage, and the very few monsters in game are immune to magic. The same is true with the Bone Spirit skill. The main advantage of this skill is that it's homing, so it's mainly used in PvP. Bone Armor skill makes a Necromancer very durable. While the armor is active, it absorbs a huge amount of damage. Usually this skill is not leveled by more than 1 point by itself, because a much greater increase in absorb is given by its synergies. Bone Wall and Bone Prison skills, which are leveled when you need to get a powerful bone protection. These skills themselves are rarely used in normal play, although in case of danger, they can help protect the player from dangerous monsters. Poison Nova skill is used as the main spell in respective Poison Necromancer build. However, this is a specific build that is not suitable for beginners. Bone Mancer, on the other hand, is suitable for playthrough, although it is more common in PvP. In PvE, it's considered weaker than the Necromancer Summoner mentioned earlier. And the last branch of the Necro abilities is Curses. They help the Necro to kill enemies faster and help his allies. Among the useful curses we can highlight Amplify Damage, which amplifies incoming damage received by monsters. The Creepify curse is similar, but has additional features. It doesn't increase the damage so much, but at the same time it weakens and slows monsters down, so they have a hard time running up to you and hitting you. Lower Resistance curse is very useful if you play in a Poison Necro or if you're playing in party. It greatly lowers the resistances to all elements and can even remove some immunities. Life Tap curse allows you to heal while dealing damage. It is useful to maintain the viability of your army, which cannot heal itself. It only works for melee hits and heal amount is equal to 50% of the damage done. Then we have Dim Vision. It curses and blinds opponents in ranged combat, such as archers or magicians. Under this curse, they cannot shoot and hit you from afar. Curses are used by all of the Necromancer build, however usually curses are only leveled by 1 point initially, because it is enough to get the effect, and adding extra points only increases the range, and eventually you will get a lot of items that give a plus to skills, so the curses will be leveled as well from these bonuses. However, keep in mind that in patch 2.4 there will be some changes. That's it for this overview, thank you for watching and see you next time.